Hey Alex, here is a way I sometimes set up the surprise follow the leader. So go from a shuffle deck, and then you're just going to fan these out, spread them out on the table or spread them between your hands, and kind of go through it. And I always use the 10 of diamonds, okay? I say the diamonds is like a magnet, gives you a reason for the attraction. And as soon as you spot the 10 of diamonds, you're going to kind of use these as a spread and cut the 10 of diamonds to the top. Now, if there's a couple of junk cards right next to the 10 of diamonds, number cards, that are not diamonds, you're done, okay? So let's go look. So I would be officially done here because I got a couple. But let's say I wanted 3 cards. So you want the diamond and then 3 number cards, 4 number cards that are not diamonds, okay? So what I would do is if I didn't, let's say it might just, I didn't have any, I had a couple of court cards right there. I'm just going to slip cut. So I'm going to slip cut under 3 instead of 1. And I see I don't have a diamond here, so I'm fine. If I did have another diamond here, I just shuffled till I didn't get a diamond, then I would do my slip cut again. All right? So I'm just going to shuffle 1, and that's good. And I'm done. I got a block of 3 on top of the 10 of diamonds. All right? So 3 junk cards that are not diamonds, and there's our 10 of diamonds. And we are ready. So we're going to do the Brother John Cull. You say, look, I'm going to use high values, all 16 of them. I'm going to define high values, jacks or higher. But let's start with the aces. And then you're going to do a Brother John Cull as you're out jogging the aces of the 10s here. So I didn't get a good distribution here, but that's okay. It'll still be okay, because you can say, look, I want you to make sure we have no other aces in the deck other than that group right there. Now you're going to break. There's my 4 cards that I just got culled on top of the deck. I would set all of these down, and then I'm going to put my 10s right on top. And you'll have some other cards there too, but that's your setup. 10 of diamonds, couple of junk cards, and the 3 10s. All right? And then I scoop these up, pull out the aces, and I put these in chased order. All right? So I said, okay, so there's the aces, and then we have the kings, and then I rapidly go through and just up-jog our 4 kings. And I also place this group in chased order, and just so happens they came out that way, so I got looked out there. Now, the next 2, the hearts and the queens and the jacks, I do them together, and I up jog the queens as I down jog the jacks, so I can get this cull done, or the removal done, in one pass, because it does take a little bit to do all this stuff. All right, and then you're going to get a break under your 10s as you close up. You strip out your queens, and these I don't place in order, and I strip out my 8 jacks, other than I do show how I have them there. And I just give these a cut. All right, bring that whole stack up to the top. So what we have on top now are our 3 10s, bunch of non-diamonds, and then the 10 of diamonds. All right. Now you pick these up, and your reason for doing this, say, I'm going to put these cards in a certain order. And then now go ahead and put them, the queens and the jacks, in chased order. And then down jog your jack of diamonds, and then just square up, getting a break under those 10s. And then from the side, you're going to cut all of these to the bottom. You're going to pick up on the jack, and then you're going to do that hidden packet move. As you say, look, I've removed 16 cards, and let me show you the order I placed on them. What's important? So, if you remember the hidden packet move, it's based on the Vernon fan force, except now I can do a block, and I can hide any number I want. So I got my 3 10s sitting right over here. All right. And so you can cleanly come away with your 16 cards here. All right. And give them a nice show. And then your reason for doing this display, say, notice every fourth card is a diamond. So there's my aces right here. And that fourth one's a diamond. Then we've got our 4 kings. And the fourth card's a diamond. Then we got our 4 queens, and the fourth one being a diamond. There's my 4 jacks, and that fourth one being a diamond. So now when I square up, the 10s get loaded on top. Okay? And then you say, look, we're going to place them out in columns. Remember, every fourth card being a diamond. So even though that's a little discrepant, it plays. Okay. All right, and then we're going to execute Tom Frame's, what did he call it? He called it Leadership Potential, and it was in his book, Framework, about 215. And I worked this handle out when he came out with his book. I think it's a little better than what he had. And then I did it for a couple of years, and then I quit doing it. And then 2 years ago, I saw Bannon do it again at Magic Live, and I started doing the trick again. Bannon found some interesting credit because there was a guy in a magazine, God, I forgot the name of the magazine, but it was 1980-81, and he called the trick Roxy, but it was just to follow the leader with these. And Frame added the thing about the spectator switching any two, which I think is what makes the trick. All right, so then you say, I want you to go ahead and cut the cards, and we're going to mark your cut. We'll come back to that in a little bit. And then I use this magnet property of the diamond, and that gives you kind of an excuse. You say, if magnets get too far apart, they don't attract or repel. So they kind of got to be adjacent packets, and I'm going to show you an interesting property of the diamond. So name any two, and I always let the spectator switch. So let's say the spectator says the queen and the king. Have them switch, and you say that diamond is like a magnet. You just wait a second, and it always attracts like value. So you got our queens assemble. Here, let's get these a little closer so we can do it again. Now name any two adjacent. So they name kings and aces, and I let them switch. And then you show the kings, and you ask them to switch the last two, and you wait a second, and then you fire off, this property that the diamonds has works for every diamond, not just the high values, every diamond in the deck. And let me prove it to you. Right here's where you cut. We're going to use the first diamond you cut to. There it is, the 10 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. So I'm going to switch the 10, and I'll put the ace right where you cut. And we just wait a second. And sure enough, value follows the diamond suit, and right here underneath that ace of diamonds, all 4 aces assemble. So I hope that might be something you can use, and if you maybe can improve it, let me know. All right, talk to you later, Alex.